For today's video, I am going to be talking about the Fancy Feast Tender Beef and Chicken Feast Classic Pâté. This is a food that I just recently started feeding to my cat Ollie. My kitten likes it too, however I am keeping her on kitten food for now, even though this is good for all life stages. I am going to be sharing with you all the details about this food. I'll share my overall thoughts on the food, what I think about the ingredients, price point, all that stuff. But I do want to put a disclaimer, I'm not a cat nutritionist. I am just a regular cat parent who's done a lot of research on cat foods so that I can try to feed my cats the best foods possible. But yeah, so just want to put that little disclaimer in there. I'm not a professional or expert when it comes to cat food, but I do try my best to feed my cats well. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. So first off, this is one of the most affordable cat foods on the market, being at about 30 cents an ounce. 3-ounce cans with a pack of 24 retails for about $21.12, and you can get it at retailers like Chewy. You could get it on Amazon, really pretty much any pet store, even some grocery stores. Now, this specific formula, I think there's only 2 cat food formulas that don't have fish in it, which is why I went for this formula specifically, because I don't want to be feeding my cats fish every single day, just because it's not necessarily the best for them to have it every single day. So I wanted a food that I can incorporate into their food rotation that does not have a fish in it. So I am going to talk about the ingredients in here. Like I mentioned a bit ago, this is good for all life stages, but it is mainly for adult cats. I do feed my kitten specific food, but you can technically feed this to kittens as well. You just want to feed more of it. And then also, if you are new to feeding Fancy Feast, or just whenever you are introducing a new food to your cat's diet, you do want to do it slowly. I do have a video that talks about how to transition your cat to a new food. That also applies the same if you are introducing a new food. You still want to introduce the new food slowly, but you can still continue feeding the other foods that you're feeding your cats as well. But you just want to be careful when introducing new foods, not to do it too quickly. Anyway, I will link that video here and in the description box below if you do want to check it out, if you want some information on how to transition your cat to a new food, or just adding a new food to your cat's diet. This recipe is a protein-rich food with beef and chicken being the main ingredients. Beef and beef broth are the first 2 ingredients, and then we have meat byproducts and also liver. So what I don't really love about those ingredients is the fact that they are very vague. You don't really know exactly what that means. For the meat byproducts, you don't know what those protein sources are, and then for the liver, you don't know what type of liver that is. So that is just something that, you know, some people might not like, is the fact that it is very vague. You don't know specifically what those protein sources are, and because of that, you don't know how nutritious they're going to be. So it does not necessarily mean that it is not good quality. It does not mean that it's not going to be nutritious. It's just harder to know the quality of it, how good it is, because, you know, it doesn't tell you what exactly those protein sources are. So that's just kind of something to know about meat byproducts, and also just that vaguely labeled liver on the ingredient list. So not necessarily a bad thing, but also, you know, it's just vague, and sometimes you want to know exactly what you're feeding to your cat. So I totally get that too. I was honestly very hesitant for quite a while to feed my cats any food with meat byproducts, just because I really like knowing exactly what it is that I'm feeding them. But again, not necessarily a bad thing. It really just kind of depends on preference, and of course you can do your own research on meat byproducts and decide if that's something you want to feed your cat. But this food just really stands out because it is so affordable, and overall it really is a meat-based food, which is great. It's just the fact that it's possible that those vaguely named ingredients might not be as nutritious as those clearly named ingredients. Something about this is that it does also contain natural and artificial flavors, so that's just something to note. It does have guar gum in here as the thickener, and each of these cans, these 3-ounce cans, have 101 calories. And also, it only comes in a 3-ounce can, so I kind of wish that the Fancy Feast had some larger size cans, but I guess, you know, normally the larger size cans is where you can get an even more affordable price when it comes to cat food. However, I guess this already is an affordable food, so I don't even know if they would discount it anymore for the larger cans. Maybe they would, but it does only come in the 3-ounce cans. This food is also grain-free, and it is made without any artificial colors or preservatives, but again, it does have artificial flavors. This food is low carbohydrates, it's a meat-focused food, and this is a pâté style food, which you already saw from the little demo there. My cats do really like the taste of that, which is also an important factor, because if your cats aren't going to eat it, then it's not going to be a good food for your cat. But my cats seem to really like it. Even my kitten Ava really likes it. But again, I am really only feeding this to my cat Ollie right now. I'll probably let Ava have a little bit of it at a time as well sometimes, but I am still keeping her on a kitten focused food right now until she's a year old. But yeah, my cats both seem to like it, so that is a win. So now I'm going to tell you everything that I like about this food and then everything that I don't love about this food. So I like that this is a meat focused food. I like that there's no carrageenan in here. I like that they don't add any plant ingredients. It has all of the necessary vitamins and minerals that cats need, like taurine. And because of that, this is a balanced food. I also like that this doesn't have any fish in it. Now again, you do have to be very specific on the recipes that you get from Fancy Feast, because I believe only 2 of them don't have fish, but this is one of them that doesn't have fish. And I like that this is an affordable food. This is great. Times have been kind of tough recently with just life, medical things. So I've been wanting to incorporate a more affordable food into my cat's food rotation, so this has been great and my cats really like it. So then some of the things that I don't love about it, I don't necessarily love the meat byproducts. Again, not necessarily because it's a bad thing, not because it's not nutritious, but because it's just vague and you don't really know what those protein sources are. I don't really like just the vaguely labeled ingredient liver, because you don't know what type of liver it is. Both the meat byproducts and the liver that are vaguely named, that just makes it more difficult to know how nutritious those protein sources are. Another thing that I do want to mention that might be a negative about this is that if your cat is sensitive to certain foods, feeding a food like this can be a little bit more difficult because you don't know what those extra random protein sources are. If your cat is sensitive to certain foods, it can expose your cat to unknown protein sources, which can make it hard to know what proteins are causing issues for your cat. But overall, this is an affordable option. It is meat focused, so I do think that is really good. It's a balanced food, so definitely a good option to include into your cat's food rotation, especially if you are looking for an affordable food to feed to your cat. I think this is a good option. Again, it is available pretty much, I feel like, most places, Amazon, Chewy, pet stores, so very easily accessible cat food to get. Even grocery stores might have it. They might not always have this specific recipe, but it's also possible that they might have it because Fancy Feast is a cat food brand that is sold in grocery stores. If you are interested in checking this out, I will have this exact recipe listed and linked in the description box below so you can easily find it. If you have any questions, definitely let me know in the comment section below. And if you're new here and you're not already subscribed and you'd like to see even more cat content from this page, I would absolutely love it if you would go ahead and subscribe to our channel. But thank you so much for watching, and I hope you tune in for our next video.